What's up? Can you hear me? What's up, Data Magadadz? Magadadz? Yo, what's up, Sid? Yo, what's up, very heavy man? That's funny. All right, one sec. As usual, follow me on Instagram if you don't, but let me post a little story, at least telling people I'm live, because, we out here. What's up, Wesley? Yo, good to see you, man. Yo, good morning, Mohammed. Okay, let's see. You know what the really annoying thing though is? If you want to get what's it called? The link, it's kind of hard to do on your phone. And I want to make an Instagram thing on my phone. What's up, Pratik? Oh, Pratik. Damn, I said Patrick. Pratik. Let me start recording this too. What's up? You guys can hear me, right? Internship season recruiting is really tough right now. So any advice? Honestly, man, I'm also job recruiting. The only advice I have is apply everywhere. It's a numbers game. Do some prep. Do as many interviews as you can, and don't lose hope. Honestly, that's I would say that is the number one most important thing. Okay, how do I link this? Can I not link it? Yo, what's up, Tecto? What's up, Mohammed? One sec, guys. Let me see can I share this? Oh, nice. Copy video link. So what do I do now? Do I message it to myself? Yeah. Let's message it to some peeps. I've been hearing that song. Do you guys know that song, Head and Heart? It's like oh my God, this feeling's just begun. Oh my God, this feeling's just begun. Oh my God, this feeling's just begun. I've never believed in myself when it comes to coding. Any advice? Dude, imposter syndrome is so real, and honestly, you just have to power through it. It's like the whole fake it till you make it, Like, you just got to believe you're good enough, and then one day you just become good enough, because I felt it too. One sec, everyone. We're going to start real soon. I just want to post on Insta so other friends can join. I wish can I just have like a template or something so I don't have to do the same thing every single time, because I'm always just putting a link. Where's the link? Oh, link, here we go. Let's paste this. YouTube live. Done. All right. What's up, X Henry? What's up? What's up, everyone? What's up? 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 Okay, so here's the game plan for today. Basically, I actually had an interview this morning. And they gave me a problem, which is actually a pretty simple problem. And I was going to do it in Java because for all of you watching, you might know I have an interview tomorrow that I have to do in Java. I haven't written Java in like 5 years. So these live streams are basically me trying to learn Java. But the interview today, he said you could do whatever you wanted. And I was going to do Java just so I could practice, right? Because if I force myself to do interviews in Java, then I'm going to have to like Google stuff and I'll get better. The problem was the question he gave me had so many other things that I'd have to research that I was like, honestly, I'm just going to fail this interview if I do it in Java. So let's not do it in Java. I did it in Python in like 5 minutes. So right now, we're going to redo that question, but in Java. Everyone follow? That kind of makes sense. And I don't want to repeat myself because everyone joins after. So I'm just going to put a little comment being like what we're doing. We're going to solve this problem in Java. Cool. So now it's in the chat. Anyone who joins can hopefully see it. Can I pin stuff in the chat? I don't even know. Can I pin stuff? I will. Oh, I can pin it. Okay, I pinned it. Nice. All right, so everyone can see it. What's up, Mohammed? What are the different features of Java? There's a lot of features. I guess the one big one is that type safety. You have to have types for everything, so makes life much easier, and it's definitely safe in that way. Okay, so let me write out the question, and then we can actually give it a shot. So yeah, what's up, Cher? Yeah, I mean, let's see. It's gonna take me a while to solve this in Java. All right, so let me write the problem down. You guys can have a think, and then we're gonna actually solve it. So yeah, whoever said I'm doing number of islands, I did number of islands. I did FizzBuzz. We'll just leave these here for now. Okay, cool. So the problem is, let's make another function. Private static. What is this gonna be? String. Most common word. And it's going to take in a passage, like a paragraph with text. And basically what we want to do here is we want to return the word that occurs the most times, right? So if I had like, hello, 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 my name is Namanh, it should return hello, because hello happens so many times. Now, whenever you get an interview question, the first thing you want to do is clarify assumptions. So the first thing I asked the interviewer, I was like, okay, cool, we have some text. Is there going to be punctuation? And he was like, yes, there might be punctuation. I was like, okay, good to know. Can we assume that it's nicely formatted? So it's not going to be like hello space period. It's going to be hello period, right? Or I guess what I'm trying to say is it's going to be like, hello, my name is Namanh. Like that's a valid sentence. What's invalid is something like, hello, my name is Namanh. Right? Because like that's not how you write normally. There's not going to be like a bunch of random spaces between punctuation. You're going to have punctuation right at the end. And I was like, cool. And another question, I was like, well, if we had capital H hello and then we had lowercase hello, are those the same word or should we classify them as different words? And he said that we can assume that they're different words. I was like, great. So that gives us a lot of information that's going to help us solve this problem. So hopefully everyone follows that. So there's basically two ways to solve this. The first way is that you just split on spaces. And then when you're given a word like hello, it's going to be tokenized as hello, comma, because you split on spaces. And then you're going to have to get rid of the comma because we don't want the comma. Or you can sanitize the text, basically get rid of all the punctuation at the very beginning in the first pass. And then you can actually go and tokenize it. Right? So let's actually do that. I like approach 2 better where we sanitize it because I think it's a little bit cleaner. So we're going to have like static. This is going to return another string and it's going to be sanitize text. It's going to take in some text and it's going to return some text. Okay, and this guy's going to return a word. Cool. So let's write this. So to sanitize the text, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a new text, which is just going to be like sanitize. Sanitized is going to be some text. And we're going to go through every single word. So how do we split? So is there some like split? Oh, there is. Nice. I think this will default to just split on spaces. So we're going to say for every word in the split, empty body. Okay, well, we're going to fill the body. If, oh, and then we also want like some idea of punctuation. So I think, yeah, set, it's going to be a set of punctuations is going to be a new hash set. Oops. Or I guess new set, doesn't really matter. And we can give it, oh, nope, I don't want that. So I guess it wants to be hash set maybe. New hash set. And we can say punctuations dot add. Can we add multiple? We can't. Can we do add all? Yo, what's up, Ghost Boy? New, how do you use add all? I couldn't do this yesterday either. Add, or we can say add all, and then we have an array list of stuff. Okay. So can we do like equals, can I just do this? And then can I do like this? It needs to be a collection, but it's a string. Okay, so I guess array list. Will you be happy if I do array list, please? Array list string is going to be new array list. Yo, it's a body. How do you initialize an array list? Oh, we have it here. You can have 5 and you can add a bunch of stuff. Or you can say array list 2. What is array list 2? This thing. Insert all elements. List 2 will get printed after list 1. Array list 1 dot everything in array list 2. There should be a better way to initialize a set. Initialize set Java. Yo, what's up, Rom? With a constructor. Yes, that's what I want. Arrays as list. All right, that's what we're looking for. So we don't have to do all this stuff. Let's get rid of this. Okay, cool. So now we add all the punctuation. Okay, cool. So now we split, and then if no, we don't want words. We want every character for this one. For string character in text. Oh, but char's a, I don't know, string C in for each not applicable to string. Really? How do you iterate through a string? Okay, so you can do that. That's fine. To char array. I like that. I like to char array. Why is it angry? Oh, it's not a string. It's a char. Okay, so if the char, if punctuations dot contains char, so if it doesn't contain it, then we wanna add it. Yo, what's up, Sanjay? Yo, what's up, Herfa? Lighter theme, but I like dark theme. Maybe it's more readable. I don't even know how to change it, low-key. How do you change it? Settings, appearance, dark, sync with OS, light. Ooh, that kind of hurts though. We can try it for a bit. Whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, we can try light for a bit. Yeah, we'll try this for a bit, but yo, OG data, no guarantees. I might go back to dark mode because I might like it more. Okay, so if it contains, then we add it, and then we do this. Dope. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna sanitize. All right, so now we have sanitized text. So now we're gonna go through every word in this. So for every word in sanitize.split. How do you split on space? Split on space Java. It's like /W maybe? Are defaulting to something else? You can, okay, yeah, so you can just do spaces, right? So just add a space in here. Cool. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to have some like hash map. So let's do hash map of a string mapped to an integer of counts is going to be a new hash map. So now here we're going to say if the word doesn't exist, so if counts dot contains keyword, so if it doesn't contain it, then we just add it with a 1. So we say counts dot add or put word with 1. Yep. Otherwise, if it has it, then we see what the count is. And the old count is going to be counts dot get word, and then we're going to say counts dot set put word is going to be old count plus 1, right? So now that we have all the counts, we are going to iterate over them and find the max. So we're going to say max most common word is nothing, and most frequent max frequency is how do you do infinity? We can just do -1. So we're just going to say for every word in counts dot key set, if the counts of the word is greater than the max frequency, the max frequency is going to be the count, and the most common word is going to be the word, and then return the most common word. Cool. So let's test this. So let's say string text equals So what do you think the answer is going to be? It should be name, right? Because name showed up 3 times. Okay, and then let's do system.out.println of most common word of text. Cool, let's run this. It printed out name instead of capital N, name, which is not good. So let's start printing stuff. So let's print what I also want to print out is the counts. All right, so the sanitized is, sanitized has punctuation still in it. Yo, what's up, Semi? Okay, so sanitized, we say sanitized text. And we say if punctuation doesn't contain it. Yo, what's up, Daniel? I'm picking up Java because I have an interview in it tomorrow, and I haven't written Java in like 5 years. What's up, Shresh? Okay, what is this? Why do we get punctuation? Did I not put punctuation in here? Punctuation, we see comma, period. Okay, so we have punctuation. If it contains it, if it does not contain it, then we add it. So let's try here. Punctuation contains it, so true. Okay, what about N? False. Okay, so if punctuation if it does not contain it, then add it. Yeah, Aryan, this is IntelliJ. How's the job search going? Yeah, honestly, someone asked for light mode, and I was just gonna try it, but I think I agree. I like dark mode better. Just sync it with my OS. How's the job search going? It has been going, just a lot of applications and then first round interviews and whatnot. We'll keep you all updated. Don't worry, don't worry. I got you, I got you. My types are wrong. That sounds correct. Ooh, yo, good catch, bro. This needs to be a character. Because this is a character. Oh my god. Nina, dude, you're so right. That's why it's not working. I was so confused. Wait, how do I provided hash set of string? How do I make characters out of this? Can I do this? It's just like a back-end engineering role. Oh, single quotes is character. Okay, there we go. That's what I was looking for. Yo, this chat is faster than ChatGPT or Google. I love it. Okay, much better. String concatenation in a loop. Oh, you're supposed to use string builder? I guess you are. Okay, good. Good to know. Ah, much better. Yes. Thank you, Neenan. And one ander. That is correct. Can you come to the interview with me? I was low-key thinking of live streaming the interview, but I think that is a recipe for disaster, so probably not. Okay, let's run it now. Dope. Name, which is correct. That's what we expect. Cool. So we solved the problem in Java. Name. Nice. All right, Java isn't that bad, but I mean, I wish I had taken a screenshot of the code I actually wrote. But in Python, I'm serious. I wrote this whole code in like 10 lines. But you see, in Java, you need all of these lines of code. Like, look at how disgusting this looks. But I'm sure, again, like, I know there's probably some Java developers in the chat who are like, bro, why did you write a for loop? You could just use this like built-in thing that will just like count the number of words. I'm sure. Oh my God, this feeling's just begun. Damn, that song is stuck in my heart now. Okay, so basically to catch you guys up, I have a cat. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll see him. Let me show you the story. Man, I love this cat so much. Literally love this cat so much. This is my cat. Yes, his name is Lenny. Oh, that is Indian food my mom cooked for me because she's an amazing woman. But anyway, I was so excited to see my cat because I'm home, and he started purring, which I don't know if any of you have cats, but you probably know this, but like cats purr when they feel happy and satisfied. And like I basically sent someone a message that I was like, when my cat purrs, when Lenny purrs, my heart goes ba 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 ba, feelings just begun. And it's that song. It's called Head and Heart. I don't know if you've heard this song. I can probably play a little bit on. Let's see. Let me get off my headphone. I'm only gonna play like 5 seconds because I'm so scared I'm just gonna get like copyright striked or something. But I can play the couple cents a second. I'm too scared to get like, I don't even know what the word is. But day before yesterday, I was playing some Silicon Valley clips on chat. And YouTube was like, excuse me, what is going on? Excuse me. And I was like, chill out, man. Chill out. But anyway, I'm gonna put the song in here. You guys should check it out. Head and Heart. Cool. How is Java just so happy to say, nope, that's not in the set? Yeah, honestly, it should have told me, like, hey, what's going on here? Hello, what's going on here? But it didn't. Shreyas, am I American born or Indian? I am born in India, actually. I was born in New Delhi. Born in India, but I've never lived there. I was just born there, and then I moved after 30 days, like literally. When I got my passport, I just moved. I still go back. I used to go back every 2 years, but with COVID and everything, it's been a long, long time. I really want to go back, though. I miss it. Yo, what's up, Ricky? I always feel interviews, but not the coding challenges, but the interviews. Not a great communicator. Any advice? That's interesting. I feel like for me, it's the opposite. Like I'm a decent communicator, which probably makes sense. I mean, I make YouTube videos. I'm live streaming right now. But sometimes the interview skills itself is very hard for me. So all that is to say, Ricky, that's a good problem to have. It's much better to be a better coder and not that big of a communicator, because I think it's much easier to become a better communicator. I mean, it depends on the person, but I think personally, I think it's much easier than to like, do leak code for like hours trying to get the technical skills. My recommendation would be to just actually, like, live streaming is really good practice. I mean, you don't have to live stream in front of the world, but you can like act like you're live streaming, or just sit on the dinner table with your parents and do an interview question with them, and you just have to speak so much. You're in the camera. Yeah, you already can. Now they can see. It's all good. That's my mom. Look at that. She's like scurrying away. Okay, so basically, it's like, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so you should practice like in front of your parents, in front of your friends. Like literally sit there and just keep talking. Like literally don't stop talking. It might sound unnatural at first. Like live streaming to me is so unnatural. I just have to sit here and keep talking. Not that I can't be quiet, but it's like, if I just stop talking, you're gonna be like, what's going on, right? And you're not gonna know what's in my mind. So you just have to talk, and don't stop. And so when you're coding, that's gonna be like saying everything out loud, like, I don't know why this isn't working. All right, let me print debug. Oh, I don't know. Oh, it's a character. You just keep talking so they know what's going on. So I think practicing just speaking everything out loud is going to help you be much better. Daniel, I am still staying in New York. I just came home to visit the family, visit my cat. I'm gonna be going back on Tuesday, so I'll be literally back in New York soon. Oh my God, this feeling just begun. Oh my God, this feeling's just begun. oh my god, this feeling's just begun. Ricky, yo, appreciate it, man. Are you Indian or NYC? I am currently in Houston, Texas, where I'm from. I was born in New Delhi, India, but I now live in New York City. Okay, let's do some more problems. Let's do some leak code. Oh my god, this feeling just begun. Oh my god. I think I have an interview actually at some time. What time do I have an interview? Okay, at 1 p.m. Cool. Just to make sure I don't miss that. I just have a bunch of interviews like every day basically, which I guess is good, you know. You practice by interviewing. How do I like Java? It's okay. It's not bad. I wouldn't say it's growing on me because I hate how much text I have to write every single time. But it's not that bad. Like I thought it was gonna be much worse. Okay, let's do an actual like medium. Oh my god, this feeling just begun. No, I don't want easy though. Difficulty medium. Oh my god, this feeling just begun. Okay. Can I make a fake experience due to career gap? I mean, you can, but if they ever find out, you're kind of screwed. So it's like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, be honest all the time because, you know, companies are always lying to us. But, you know, you just got to be a little selfish. Just be careful. I mean, don't lie too much. You can inflate something a little bit here and there, but if you inflate it a lot, then like, you know, they're going to catch on. Okay, let's solve this problem. You're given an m by n integer matrix, mat, and an integer target. Choose one integer from each row in the matrix such that the absolute difference between target and the sum of the chosen elements is minimized. The sum of the total elements is minimized. Such that the absolute difference between target and the sum of the chosen elements is minimized. Okay, I see. So here we found a perfect match, 157, because that's a 13, so the difference is 0. But here, the target is 100, so it's going to be 100 minus 6, which is 94. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so you can't just take the minimum of each row because you want the absolute difference to be minimized. So what if you take the max in each row? But that won't work because if you take the max in each row, then you might be over, right? Because in this one, if you took 3, 6, and 9, that would be 18. Actually, 18 minus 13, yeah, so that won't work because that's 5, but actually the minimum is the exact. Ooh, that is an interesting problem. So if you take the minimum every time, that's not going to work because it would have been 1, 4, 7. But in this case, we have a perfect match. I see. That is interesting. That is an interesting problem. Oh my god. Na. Sorry, I get distracted when I get emails or texts and then I have to respond. Oh my god, the feeling's just begun. Oh my god. Oh my god, feelings just begun. Okay, let's actually do this. Daniel's doing his master's at Vanderbilt. That's dope. Okay, so choose one integer from each. So when you're about to choose an integer, you have no understanding of what other integers you're going to choose. Because if you knew you were going to pick 5 and 7 later on, then you know that you can easily pick 1. So it feels like maybe recursively this would work, right? If you broke down the problem into like a black box. So at row 1, you just know what the sum of rows 2 to to n is going to be, then you know that this number just has to be the minimum. If you know like the optimal choice of the rest have been minimized, and let's say it's like 12 is a total of the rest, you know that you want to find, no, but then you would just always take the minimum. Because by definition, if everything else is minimum, then you're just going to take this minimum. It doesn't really matter what the rest is, you're just going to pick one. But that's not always going to work. So maybe you can't do this recursively. Do you always want to start with the minimum in the first row? Not necessarily, because let's say the first row had the number 13 and then every other row had 0. You would just take 13 because that'd minimize it. Huh. That is very interesting, actually. This is a pretty hard question. Let's say it was a one-dimensional array and the target is 6, then you would just take 7 because that minimizes it. You want to minimize the difference. Okay, let's spitball some potential options. So we did the always pick the minimum, that doesn't work. Always pick the maximum, that also doesn't work. What else could you do? If you don't pick the minimum or the maximum, I guess you just pick by random, but that's obviously not going to work. How do you figure out what numbers to pick? I guess brute force would be every single combination, right? So in all these questions, you always want to do brute force first. So that'd be like every combination: 147, 148, 149, 247, 248, 249. NDMD, yo, that's my friend Andy, by the way, chat. Explain this to me like I'm in medicine and have no idea what's going on. Okay, yeah, let's do it actually. I don't even know if I'm any good at that. So basically, we have a matrix. You probably took a math class in college. Just think of this that you see here, this example 1, as literally a matrix of just numbers, right? You can also think of a matrix as a grid or a table like on Excel. So we just have like a table of numbers. And we have some target number that's just given to us. In this case, the target is 13. We basically want to pick one number from each row, such that when you add up all the numbers you picked, that the absolute difference between that and the target is minimized. So in this case, the optimal solution is 157 because they add exactly to 13, so the output is 0. However, in this one, if the target is 100, we pick the only number we can pick in each row, 1, 2, 3. The sum of that is 6, so 100 minus 6 is 94. And then same with over here. If the target is 6, and we pick 7, which is the only number, we have to pick again 1 per row, remember, then the difference is minimized because the difference is 1. But if you had picked 8, the difference would be 2, and if you picked 9, it would have been 3. So I'm thinking of potential solutions. We want to come up with an algorithm. An algorithm is just like a repeatable procedure to help us solve this problem. And I'm trying to figure out what we can do at each step of the way to basically optimally come up with those numbers. So initially I thought, hey, what if we just take the minimum number in each row? So in the first one we take 1, in the second one we take 4, and the last one we take 7. Well, we know that's not optimal because the answer is 157. And why is that? Because if we took 147, the total would be 7 plus 4, 11, plus 1, 12, which 13 minus 12 is 1. But there was a solution if we picked 157 where the difference was 0. So minimum doesn't always work. Then I was like, what if we take the maximum every time? Well, that's obviously not going to work because, again, if we take the maximum every time, 3, 6, and 9, that would add up to 18. So the difference would be 5. but the optimal difference is, again, 0. So taking the minimum always doesn't work. Taking the maximum always doesn't work. What are some other patterns we can look at that will get us closer to the answer? What if we only look at numbers that add up to the target? Sure, but it might not always add up, right? There might not be a full addition. So I don't think that will work either. One Anders says initialize as minimum and then optimize. So if we take 1, okay. Once we get to the next row, if we take 1 and then we get to the next row, we've already locked in 1. So now we're looking for 2 numbers that add up to 12, or the closest to 12. Yeah. But we know that, let's say we didn't pick 1. Is there a potential solution where we don't pick minimum? Because that would work, I think. If we always take the minimum, we start with the minimum, and then we ask, find me 2 numbers in the rest of the rows that add up to a certain number. Could you choose 2, 4, 7 in example 1? Yes, you can, because they also add up to 13. Man, I thought dosing propofol was math. What the hell is this? Yeah, this is math that makes your head hurt. Actually, though, I feel like dosing propofol would make my head hurt. So, damn, am I really gonna look at the solution? I feel so incompetent. No, we're not gonna look at this. We're gonna try a little bit more. So if we took a 1, so does the decision in row 1 matter? Well, clearly. I mean, if we picked 1, it would work, and if we picked 2, it would work. Would it work if we picked 3? If we picked 3, is there any solution that add to 13? 3 plus 6? No, it wouldn't, right? So the decision we make in the beginning does matter. So yeah, let's validate that assumption that you can always take the min. Is there a solution where you don't take the min, or that the min is actually not the case? So 1 wouldn't have worked. So that would be the case if we had if we just build out a matrix, and we said the numbers were 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Let's look at the assumptions. Can there be duplicates? I think there can, right? So let's say 4, 6, 6, and then 7, 8, 9. In this case, the minimum 1 wouldn't work because 1 plus 6 plus 7 would be 14. Oh, but in this case, 1 plus 4 plus 8 would be 13. So I want to try to find examples where this wouldn't work. Okay, something like this, I don't think it would work, right? Because then you'd have 1 plus 4 is 5, and then none of these would hit 13. So the only answer that would work is 2, 4, 7, which means that always taking the minimum in the first row isn't always going to work. Just double check the assumptions, because if you couldn't have duplicates, then it'd be interesting. Then maybe it does work. But I think you can have duplicates. Yes, I think you can. So in this example, if you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 6, 7, 9, 9, the only solution would be 1 plus, or sorry, 2 plus 2, 4, and 7. So we can't always take the minimum. Do you guys follow that? Why I don't think we can take the minimum? Recursive would work though. If at every row, if we're just imagine that the rest works perfectly and gives us back a sum. What would the sum now be? I have a feeling we need to do this recursively. I can't think of any other way. So how would that work recursively? Where like call minimize the difference on every other row. What if we thought of this as like a graph where every element was a node and we wanted to do some graph algorithm to get to a target. So we're like, find me numbers that add up to a number. And if they don't add up, then get me as close as possible to a number. Could you like DFS this? I guess there's no DFS because you can only have one edge. You can't have multiple. All right, I'm gonna go with my initial solution, which was recursive. Let's see. Oh my God, dynamic programming, kill me. 4 lines? Are you joking? How? Well, DP is just recursion, so I want to see the recursive solution first. Can I search recursion? No? Oh, yes. Java recursion, simple recursion, C++. Is there any Python? Python, there we go. Okay, so, God, this is unreadable. I literally cannot read this. That was not simple. Okay, Jesus, what is this? Cache? No. The sum of the entire matrix cannot be larger than 70 times 70. For sum 2. All right, I'm still not 100% sure how to do this. Let's look this question up. This is hard. This is not easy. This is like unreadable. Okay, I'm lost. I'm officially lost. Backtracking. What is the most efficient way to learn DSA? Just practice, honestly. I mean, you can pick up a textbook. You can obviously learn through a textbook. You can do leak code, but I think a lot of it is just practice. All right, this is really hard. Apparently, this is a framework for Java. Someone was telling me about, so I was gonna like try to look it up because I've never heard of it in my life. Quarkus, yeah, Quarkus. What is this? Subatomic Java. Beans. Architecture. Yo, what's up, John? What's good, dude? What are you gonna say if the interview asks what is your strengths? Let's come back to that. I mean, I know the answer. I just don't have enough. My mouth is too parched to give a behavioral interview answer right now. John asks, when going back to practice and study, do you follow a specific path, stack, and then pointers, then mapping, or how do you go about it? That's a good question. I guess I just got back into interview prep. Usually, I'll just like throw myself at random problems because I've interview prep before. So I remember like what some of the high yield ones. Like for example, one of my favorite problems ever is this one called number of islands, because it's just like the quintessential DFS, number of islands. It's just like it is the quintessential problem. And I always do this one. And then there's so many that are just like this. Actually, there's one I wanted to do for fun. Let's try this one. Minesweeper. I think I might have already done it in Python, maybe? Oh, I didn't. All right, sick. Let's see, how much time do I have? 26 minutes before my interview. Let's see if we can do this problem. So the reason I said like number of islands is so goated is because it's like the bread and butter for questions like this. So if you can't do number of islands, you probably won't be able to do this one. Okay, you're given an m by n. M represents a mine. E represents an unrevealed empty square. B represents a revealed blank square. Digit 1 to 8, okay. You're also given a click. Okay, sure. Return the board after revealing. If a mine was revealed, then the game is over. You should change it to an X and return. If an empty square with no adjacent mines revealed, then change it to revealed blank and all of it's revealed recursively. If it's an empty square with at least one adjacent mine, then change the digit to 1 to 8. Okay, cool. So we're going to want some helper functions. We want to be able to count mines. Given a board and a position. We want to be able to know if we're in bounds. And we want to be able to DFS. Yo, what's up, Anib? Okay, cool. So the first thing I want to do is I want to have the row And the column is going to be click at 0 and click at 1. So that is our click. So to count mines, what we're going to do is we're going to look at everything adjacent. And I think 1 to 8, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so it's all the directions. So we're going to say the directions are then 1, 0, 1, or -1, 0. Cannot type today. And then we have 0, 1, 0, -1, 1, 0, -1, 0. We also have 1, 1, 1, -1, 1, or -1, -1, -1, 1. Is that 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is. All right, so those are all the different directions we can go. So given a board and a row and column, we're going to say count is 0. And then for every direction, or for every coordinate in our directions, if the board at row plus, I guess this is like xy, or like our column, and column plus column is, what is it? How do you know if it's a mine? X represents, M is a mine, right? Okay, so if it's an M, then we increase our count. And then we return the count. So that's how you count a mine given a position, or you figure out how many mines there might be. In bounds, well, this is pretty easy. We just want to make sure the row is greater than 0 or equal to 0. And it's smaller than the length of our board. And column is greater than or equal to 0. And column is smaller than the board. So you see how like I didn't have to think too much. I'm just like writing these out because I've already done number of islands. So I remember like these are the things we're gonna have to think about. Like are we in the bounds of our matrix? Okay, cool. Then DFS. So if we're not in bounds, I guess we don't do anything. But if we're in bounds, we have a couple options. We want to click. So if we click, so if board at row and column is a mine, then we've lost, right? So we change it to be an X, and we return. And just to be very clear, we're mutating the board as we're going. So I'm not returning anything because the board is changing. And at the very end of this parent function, we're just going to return the board. Okay, so if it's an M, then we just die. If it's a E, what do? It tells us. If it's an E with no adjacent mines. Ooh, I'm running out of battery. One sec. Okay. If it's an E, okay, so if it's an E, then we have a couple options. First, we count the mines. So count is count mines of our board at this row and column. If the count is 0, so I guess if there is a count, then do something. Otherwise, if there's no count, so if it's 0, then we change it to blank B, and then we recurse. If an empty square E with at least one adjacent mine is revealed, then change the digit, and then do recurse. Change it to like a 5, and then Maybe you don't. I don't think you do. So if there is a count, then you just change it to be the count. I guess should be a string. I guess it should be a string. Igor asks, hey Namanh, just curious, are you doing any side hustles or looking for a job? Just interested in how a person can stay afloat. Oh, if you remember when I got laid off, I got severance, so I had a little bit of a buffer. And then I also lived at home for 3 years before moving to New York. So I have some savings. So I've been able to, get by for a little bit. I'm not too pressed about it, but I'm starting to look for a job again because I know those savings aren't going to last me forever. Also, I don't want to dip into them too much. Okay, so here we change it to this and then we recurse. So to recurse, we go in every direction. What are the different directions? Above, below, left, right, and all 4 diagonals. Recurse, I think, okay, so we have to recurse in every single direction. So I think we can do the same thing here, right? We can get the directions and we can actually just copy this. But we don't need to do this. We're just going to always recurse. So then we just say DFS at our board, row plus R, and column plus C. And then that's it, I think. It's not going to compile. It's going to yell about something. Oh, it did compile. Huh. Well. Ooh, that's a good point. Someone just said, don't we have to check inbounds for the count function? I think we might actually have to, right? Because like, what if you're at the corner and you're looking for everything around? Actually, interesting why that didn't fail. But yes, I think you're right. We do need to check for bounds. Also, 1 sec. I don't know why my chat on OBS is making me sign into YouTube. Damn, I don't even know my password though. Where's my passwords? One second, chat. Where's my what is it? YouTube, right? So I gotta open my account. Why can I not paste on this? All right, let me just try to reopen the chat. Oh, now it works. Nice. Sorry about that. Oops, I switched screens also. Why are you not passing in board in line 18? Oops, where's the, here. 18. Oops. Oh yeah, you're so right. Why am I not passing in? Wait, is this even doing what I want it to do? I don't even think I'm using this correctly. I think we have to do self, right? Because I want them to be blue. Yes, we need to do self. Self.inbounds and then self.countMines. I don't even think they're getting triggered. And then self.dfs. I'm trying to be extra clever and just do them all in line, but if this doesn't work, I'm just going to make specific extra functions. Okay, I'm not even convinced these are actually doing anything, so we're just going to make separate functions. So here's one function, and then we're going to make these be its own function too. Also, I wasn't even calling it here, I think. I think you're right. It was using the variables as themselves rather than actually passing in stuff. This is what happens when you don't actually know what you're doing. So let's do here. So now it's going to actually use the board that's passed in here, and that's the board that was over here. So now we have all these functions. Let's do self dot, self dot, self dot, self dot. So what we actually want to do here is we need to actually call it for the first time on our board and our row and our column. And then we return the board once it's modified. All right, so this should give me some errors, right? because there's no way I just wrote, there we go. All right, there we go. Okay, so now, I mean, whenever you're debugging, the first thing is it actually even running anything before you get happy? So yes, list index out of range, which means we need to check it here. Whoever said we need to check inbounds here, totally correct, we need to do that. So we need to first make sure that the row and this, so if dot self dot inbounds our board, and then our row plus R and our column plus C, only then can we safely do this. Hey, look at that. Okay, let's just submit it, see what happens. Let's go, big boy. So like this is what I'm trying to say. Like I've done number of islands. I don't even know how many times at this point that it just, this comes naturally to me. Like I'm like, all right, we got to check inbounds. We got to check this. We're going to have a DFS. We're going to have a this. Like it just kind of comes naturally, but you still make some silly mistakes. So I want to shout out whoever got this correctly. Yeah. Imad, why are you not passing the board in line 18? Like totally right. And so it would have told me like board index out of bounds. And I've done number of islands enough time that when it's out of bounds, I'm like, wait a second, how could it be out of bounds? It's out of bounds because, we're not like checking something, right? So though my solution is kind of slow, it says here beats 15.95% of users. I'm probably doing some like weird stuff with like loops and stuff. I mean, it's like optimal. The O of whatever is correct, but I'm sure like something is slow. Actually, big O reminds me, I'm going to interview at some point, and they told me to remember big O, which I always forget. So I know what big O is, but I just want to know big O of data structures, like analysis of algorithms. No, I want to know like what is the big O of a heap, runtime of heap, for example. Like I don't remember, it's like log of something, right? Okay. Insert, delete. All right, I'm a visual learner. I need some good visuals. Oh, here we go. Much better. An array implemented heap have constant runtime, and array implemented heap. An array implemented heap. What does that even mean? Heap runtime. Okay, there we go. A binary heap, a binomial heap, and a Fibonacci heap. What? What is a heap usually written in? Okay, you know what? Let's just do this one. I like this. There we go. Okay, the best case of all of them is O of 1. Really? Oh, okay. We don't care about best case, though. We care about average case. Insertion is log n. Deletion is log n. Searching is O of n. Heapify is O of n. Sorting is n log n. All right, you know what? I'm just like purely memorizing this, which is not a great way to learn. So let's actually try to understand what's going on. Can we just look up heap? Maybe the Wikipedia is going to tell us some stuff. Because I want to be able to like reason through these. All right, so let me remind myself, what is heap? A heap is like a tree with some sort of sort, right? All right, you know, this is like making my head hurt. Can I just find something that explains it really nicely? Maybe a YouTube video? Heap, big O. Okay, here we go.
Hi, welcome to NetSet OS. If we have been given height 0, we will draw the bottom line. So the nodes which are touching this line are at height 0. A level above, it will be height 1, and then height will be 2, and at root, this is height 3. So here we can say it is a 3-heighted binary tree. Now, for calculating height, we can calculate maximum number of nodes. Now, I want to calculate number of nodes at height 0. So how can I calculate? So for height 0, total number of nodes are 15. I'll write
Can you all hear
height
anything?
for 0.
I cannot hear anything. What's up, edit? You want to hear something funny? Okay, so my friend who works at this company, who I'm going to interview at, that's going to do just Java, he saw this live stream and he was like, good luck, buddy. Isn't that so funny? I think that's so funny. Okay, you know what? I'm like too lazy to figure out why the volume isn't working, but we're just gonna watch this.
Oh,
Actually,
2 to the power 1
I can hear it now. Can you guys hear it? I can hear it now.
plus 1, which will be 15. 2 to the power 2 is 4. So 15 divided by 4 is 3 point something. But we are taking upper bound set OS. In this video, we will know why the time complexity of BuildMax heap is order of n. Before this, first of all, let's know how to calculate maximum number of nodes. If we have been given height 0, we will draw the bottom line. So the nodes which are touching this line are at height 0. A level above, it will be height 1, and then height will be 2, and at root, this is height 3. So here we can say it is a 3-heighted binary tree. Now, if we want to calculate maximum number of nodes as per height, this is a complete binary tree. We have all the nodes over
Complete
here. So for
means
calculating maximum number of nodes,
every guy has a leaf, right?
there's a formula: total number of nodes upon 2 to the power height of the tree plus 1. And this should be upper bound. So this is for at particular height we can calculate maximum number of nodes. Now I want to calculate number of nodes at height 0. So how can I calculate? So for height 0, total number of nodes are 15. I'll write height for 0. Height is 0, 2 to the power 0 plus 1. So 15, 2 to the power 1 is 2. So 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. As we are taking upper bound, it will be 8. Now let's calculate for height 1. I'll write maximum number of node for height 1. Total number of nodes are 15.
8.
For height 1, 2 to the power 1 plus 1, which will be 15.
What does max number of nodes mean? Just like the number of leaves? So if it's complete binary, this is 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay, so I guess the formula is total nodes. But how do you know the total? You just know the total? What the hell? 1, 2, 3 plus 2. Wait, what? How do they just know the total nodes? Just like that. N plus 1. What is n? Oh, the height. Okay. But I don't know how they know the total number of nodes. You just know that? How? How do you know that?
2 to the power 2 is 4. So 15 divided by 4 is 3 point something. But we are taking upper bound, it will be 4. So if we cross check at height 1, there are 4 number of nodes. Now we will see at height 2, maximum number of nodes at height 2, total number of nodes are 15, 2 to the power h, which is 2 plus 1. So 15 divided by 2 to the power 3 is 8. So if we take upper bound, it will be somewhat 2. So at height 2, we have 2 nodes. Similarly, we will calculate for height 3. Total number of nodes are 15, 2 to the power 3 plus 1, 15 divided by 2 to the power 4 is 16. So it will be, if we take upper bound, will be 1, which is 1 at height 3. So with this, we got a formula for calculating maximum number of nodes in a heap. So when we used to apply max heapify, we used to start from non-leaf node as per this algorithm, where we...
Okay, wait. Aspire said 2 to the n plus 1 is the total number of nodes. So the height, okay. So what was the height in that one? It was... The height was 3. Wait, are you saying 2 to the n plus 1? What is n, though? Also, my interview is going to start in 5 minutes, so I will probably jump back on this stream. Let's see, what time is it right now? Maybe around like 3:30 or 4 Central Time, because I have kind of back-to-back interviews until then. So I'm gonna hop off right now, and then we'll probably pick it back up with like all this heap stuff. I just want to know, like, if you told me what is the runtime of an array, I could tell you like, okay, an array, if you add something, it's O of n. If you search something, it's O of n. If you delete something, it's O of n, because you need to like push everything together. What is array even good for then? Oh no, append is O of 1. Adding something is O of 1. You just add to the end of it. But I want to know that like that. Like, what is it for a linked list, a W linked, a binary tree, a heap? because they'll ask you, they'll be like, oh, what is the runtime of this heap? And I'm like, log k, log n of k, log k of n, kn, nk. Like, that ain't gonna work. Also, my initials are nk. Namanh Kapur. You see that? That was smooth. Or just cringe. But okay, I am going to probably end the stream right now. And then I'll do this interview. And then I'll be back on. So you guys just, whenever you come on YouTube, you'll just see my little live thing. And then we'll just like keep going with this. I don't know how it works. I think if I end the stream, I have to restart a new one. But I don't want to keep this one going forever with like some random one. So I'll be back. I will see all of you very soon. Appreciate everyone tuning in. See you, Mohammed. It's me, KLC, Togrul, Harish, Daniel, my boy John Barker. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Good luck practicing. Talk soon. See ya.